educators, and Google partners. The webinars are aimed at equipping educators and teachers with experiences and best practices in the use of Google education tools. For this week, the webinar is facilitated by the same partners as the last 3 webinars. We have Cloud EDU from South Africa, MKB Consulting from Nigeria, and Power IT from Kenya. In this session, you will learn how Google Sites can become the central place for learning resources, taking your learners on a journey through a project, simplifying information for parents, and helping you as a teacher to stay organized. At the end of the presentations, there will be time for questions. Please type your questions into the Q&A document. The link will be shared with you in the chat room. Today we have Joseph representing MKB Consulting. Joseph is an ICT coordinator and instructor in Bloomberg Schools in Port Harcourt, Nigeria. He has used Google Suite for education for years and has trained thousands of teachers and students within Nigeria on how to use G Suite for education. Joseph is a level 1 certified educator. And also today we're going to have Charles Muchemi representing Power IT from Kenya. He is a teacher at Rusinga School in Nairobi and acting head of proposed virtual school. And the last presenter today is going to be Jasmine Mutani representing Cloud EDU. She is the head of educational technology and learning at Pridwin Preparatory School in Johannesburg in South Africa. And the last part of the session today is going to be the Q&A session that will be led by Lisa from Cloud EDU. I will now hand over to Joseph, who will show us how to develop a Google site, an example of a music class Google site. Thank you. Over to you, Joseph.
Thank you, Kay, for that introduction. So today we are looking at Google Site, and we'll be looking at hands-on with Google Site on how to access sites, create a site with multiple pages, enhance the appearance of your site, add collaborators, as well as publish your site, edit the site, and republish the site as you keep on using the site. To access site, there are 3 basic ways you can use to access Google Site. You can go from sites.google.com, or you can do it from your drive, from Drive to New to More to Google Site, or from the apps waffle. So let's dive into this straight away. We go to the site homepage. Right now on the site homepage, you have the upper section that represents the gallery. So you can pick from any of the templates you have here. Education is having the upper hand here. You can pick class or club or student portfolio, or you can create a site from scratch. So let's create a new site for a class. You can also create a site for the whole school or a section of your school or organization. Right now, we're creating a new site, a new Google site for a music class. So once you create a new Google site, this is what you get. And the site is untitled. So let's give the site a name, Music Class Expo. So this is the name for this site, and you also see the name reflected here, and this is what we show on the internet. Right now, this is the home page. You have to give your page a title. So for this, let's give this the title called Music Effects. Music Effects. So this is the title for the home page. Now, to the right-hand side, you have various options that you can use to add different documents and pages to this site. So the second tab there is pages. Now we are going to add pages to this site. Right now, we have just only the home page. To add pages, come down to the plus sign, click New to add sub-page. So let's add another page called Pop Music. Pop Music. So hit done. The page is added, and you can see the title of the page here, Pop Music, and you can also see it at the top here, Home and Pop Music. Let's add another page. This time, let's call it rock music. Rock music, then hit done. So you have 3 pages right now on this side: home, pop music, and rock music with their various page titles. Now on pop music, let's add a sub page to this. So you click on pop music, go to the right hand side, you'll see the more actions, click on it, then click add sub page. This time we'll call this county music. County music. So our pages are now ready: home page, the pop music with the sub page called county music, and the rock music. Now let's go to the home page. On the home page, you can enter different kind of materials and documents here. So at the top here, you have the text box that you can use to insert text, images, and document from your drive, as well as embed document. Or you can use a shortcut right from here. Just double click, you see the shortcut here. So let's enter text. This time we'll say welcome to Music Class Expo. Welcome to Music Class Expo. You can format this text, just highlight it. Right now is normal text. You can change it to title, heading, or subheading as the case may be. So let's use heading to make it bold. You can center it from here also. So this is a section containing text. For this section, you can duplicate this section here, or you can delete this section, or you can change the appearance or the background of the section here. So let's change this to this. Good. Okay, next we are going to add a music image to this page. So double click on the page, click on image. You can upload image from your system, or you can search the internet and insert the images. So right now I'm going to search the internet for a music image to insert on my site for my class. Okay. So I'm taking this, okay? Select the image, then insert. The image is being inserted in a new section of its own. And to expand it, just drag the resizing handles to expand the image. We can also insert video. So next, let's insert video from here. To insert video, go to the right-hand side, look for YouTube. You can insert videos from YouTube. Click on YouTube, search YouTube. Let's insert a music video, relaxing music. Let's search relaxing music. Run a search on YouTube to get a video to insert. So you have different videos showing up here. Pick any one of your choice. I'm going to take this, then select. To be inserted in a new section of its own, but you can move it, just hold it, drag it, and place it on the section you want it to be in. Okay. I'm moving it down to the same section with the image. And the text, I have to move it out of the text. Okay. Take this text out of here. Okay. Our county page. Okay, we're working on county page. So we'll have it here. You can take this text out. So I'm moving the two together right away now. So they are together, so we can leave them together. So next, we can insert the class calendar. The class calendar, let's put it on the home page. So we'll go back to the home page. Let's insert the class calendar here. To insert the calendar, you come to this, the tools you have here, you have calendar. Click on calendar. It will take you straight into your calendars you have in your Google Drive. So look for any of the calendars. So I'm taking this as my class calendar containing the class schedule. So click insert to insert the class calendar. So this is a class calendar. Expand to fit the page. Okay. So you can also insert text from here. You can take insert text this time. Let's use this text here. Okay. Then format the session for the home page. Next, you can add banner for announcement, for special announcement or update. To do that, come to the top, you see the settings icon, click on settings. Here you can also change your navigation pattern, navigation mode. Right now we are using the top, you can change it to side and you see it by the side right here. So let's use top. Then go to announcement banner. You have to show your banner, then pick a color for the banner as it suits you. Enter the message you want on the banner. So let's say updates from the last music expo. Then add a button. Click here, the button that they will click on to take them to the updates. Then you can link to the update. So let's link to county page. Okay, let it open on the same page and only on the home page. Then close this. You see it at the top right here. Okay, so this is for the home page. Now, right now, let's move to the county page. On the county page already, we have the music picture as well as the video. But now we need to add a survey form to this. So to do that, let's use a button. You click button, you pick the button, enter the name here, call it music survey. You can also use this for your assessment, okay? Then you have to paste the link here. This is my form already designed here as a music survey. Just click on send to get the link to this form. Okay, so this is the link. I'll copy the link, then go to my site, insert it here. So right here, this is a survey. Let's drag it to the same page here, the same section. You can expand it as it suits you. So once they click on this, it will take them straight to the form to take the survey. On the rock page, let's go to the rock page from here. Here we can add collapsible tests. So to add the collapsible test, click collapsible test. You give it a title. You can say image gallery. Okay, then enter the text. It contains all images. Okay, so this text will be hidden. It's only when you click on the down arrow, you'll see what you have there in the text. Next, let's add image carousel. You can select different images put together. You can do it from here by clicking on the image carousel, then click on the add, select, or you can decide to upload from your system. But right now, let's search Google and get images. So say images, music. Okay. You can add more than one image here. Okay, let's add about 3 images right here. Then insert. You see them here loading up. And you can also determine how the image carousel starts. So click on the settings. If you want it to auto start, just check mark this. Determine the speed of it, slow or medium. Let's use medium, and insert. You see it right here. Drag to expand to fit as it suits you. Now, if you're working alone on this site, you need to add collaborators, either your students or fellow colleagues, to work with you. To do that, come to share with others. You click on share with others, then add them with their email addresses. So I'm going to add Olabode right here, and I'm going to give him the editor's right so he can edit. Then hit the send button. That is how you add collaborators to your site. Then how will your site look like when it is published? To view how the site looks like, you see preview it from here. You click on preview to see how the site will look like when it is published. This is the rock page. This is how it looks like when it is published. The collapsible text, you click on it, a text hidden will show. On the pop page, you have this. You have the sub page called Calci. In the sub page, you have the image as well as the video and the survey. So when you click on music survey, it takes you straight to the survey form to take the survey. Then on the home page, you click on home page, you have this. The class calendar is there also. This is how it looks like on system or laptop. Then on tablets, you can change the view. This is how it will look like. Your site will look like when you're using a tablet. Therefore, smartphones, you click on smartphone. This is how your site will look like when you're using a smartphone. Now let's continue and publish this site. We are done. Let's publish the site. So to publish this site, you click on publish at the top right. Then determine the name you want to give to the site. Okay. Then you can manage who can view this site. So click on manage. When you click on manage, it will load the settings options. Then come to links. Change link. Or publish it. You can make it public. Once you make it public, that means everybody can see and view the site. But right now, I'm restricting it to my organization, and only those in my organization can view this site. So publish the site. It's publishing. The site is done publishing. To view the published site, click on the down arrow attached to published and click on view published sites. Yes, this is the published site on the rock page. You see it here. You go to the counting page. You have this. Okay, you have your image, you have your video, you have your form. And on the home page, you have the class calendar and the Welcome to Music Class Expo. So next, as you use the site, you have to make some changes to the site at the back end. So let's assume on the home page, you added an image again. So let's add an image to the home page from Google. You will run a search to add music image to the site. When you edit the site like that, you need to republish so that it will reflect on the published site. So we just added an image here. And if you go to the published site on the home page, you won't see that image. It's not here on the home page. So what do? You have to go to the arrow attached to publish, click on review changes and publish. And you can compare the site, the one that is currently published and the draft that you'll be working on behind the scene. Once you see the changes, you can republish. So right here on the draft, you see that image has been added, while on the publish, the image is not there. So just hit the publish button to reflect the changes on the published site. So you can go back to the published site now, reload, and the changes will take effect. So you can see the changes right here. And you can keep moving on to the other side. Now, this published site, you can share it with your class by copying the URL. Just copy the URL and share it with your class through email, or you can share it through social media handles for only those within your organization to see this site. So you can design a site for your class or for the whole school or for a section of the site containing learning materials, as well as survey for parents, information for different categories of persons in the school. Thank you very much. I'm handing you over back to Kay. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Joseph, for that exciting time on Google Sites. And you can all see that it's very easy for you to develop a Google site. It's not difficult at all. So, and you can see examples of how Joseph developed one right there, and also example of a music class. Now, the next person is going to be Charles, and is going to show us more examples of Google Sites being used in his own school. So, Charles, over to you.
Thank you very much, Kay. And good afternoon. I'm going to be sharing some of my experiences as a teacher at Rusinga using Google Sites with my students. One of the reasons why we prefer to use Google Sites is because it makes the class more exciting and it makes lessons interesting, since students are able to do quite a number of activities as we were shown earlier by Joseph. One of the ways in which we use Google Sites is by helping our students in creating their e-portfolios. The e-portfolios help students to plan themselves, plan their assignments, put together their achievements, and also as they plan for university placement, they have a resume or a CV that helps them in joining universities and also applying for work internships and other things. Students are able to upload their photos, they're able to upload their videos, they're able to put together everything that they have done as they learn during their life in school, and therefore they are able to put their information together, and that makes it very, very easy for them to continue with their school life. And once they get to the level where they need this information, they can easily access it. Whether the student decides to publish their site or they just want to use it as a storage, as we have seen, since it can put together quite a lot of tools, quite a lot of applications, like if it's a video application, if it's a text, if it's a document, it makes it very, very easy for students to use the site. Another way that we use the site is by enabling collaboration through the Google Classroom and also through the Google Meet. Like Joseph showed us, we are able to add collaborators into the site, and different students work on the same site, and they're able to work as a team, and they're able to pull out a website at the end of the project together. It could be a site maybe on a particular topic that you've already taught the students, or it could be they want to show off what they do in their classes, or it could be a group competition where you have given different groups activities to share their views, share their ideas, and they are able to create a website that we are able to look into at the end of the term and award the students who do very, very well in creating the website. Students, once they work together, they are able to update the site depending on what their talents are. Those who are very good with, giving speeches, they record themselves and they can embed a video. And those who are really good at writing essays, they have the option of doing text. That way, students learn how to work together, and they will always know that once they work together in the website, the project will be owned by the entire team. The third way in which we use Google Site is setting assignments. As we all know, keeping on asking students to write essays or maybe giving them just the usual kind of assignments will not help them get to the creative level that we want them to be at. So what we do is we will help them by setting up our assignments in the site, and they will feel as if they are actually doing a project, a website. And since it's easy to use, they are able to put in the information. This is an example of a project assignment that I gave to one of my classes. I requested the students to plan a personal training session on any sport or just for fitness. And of course, I have put up some requirements that they need to ensure that they have. First, they need to consider the warm-up and cool down. Since they have already learned the importances of warm-up and cooling down, while they are creating their website, they will need to factor in and indicate why they need to warm up and cool down. They need to have some knowledge of sportsmanship, which is a topic that we've already covered. And so while they are creating their site, they might want to bring in aspects of sportsmanship in their site. Then we have also learned aspects of hygiene, food, and nutrition. All these put together, it helps the student become more creative, and it also enables the student, try to apply the knowledge that they have already gained. These three ways have enabled us engage our learners during lessons, and has made the students more creative, have made our lessons more engaging, and students are always looking forward to the next project that they will do. Right now, I want to share a few of our sites that we have. And for example, this site is an assignment from a student. And as we can all see, and as we were explained to by Joseph, this student has done a football workout plan on the site. And there are different aspects that are here. They're able to put up a photo, they're able to put up information. And in different pages, there is a schedule of how they are going to do that. And there is also another part where the teacher is able to give feedback once the teacher have looked at the work that the child have done. This is a very easy way of setting up a project for the student, and it helps them always looking forward to ensuring that they do. I will share another site here. This is a student who is trying to work on a portfolio, the same student actually. And if we click on, this is the home page. If we click on the classes, we are able to see the student, the year the student is in. And of course, there's sub page here, which has mathematics and art, and also has another page that has athletics and other activities. So basically, the student, as he continues to engage in activities, they update this page periodically. Let me look into another site that we have created with my Year 5 class. In this site, we have not, I'm not the one who created it, but the students have done it. Whatever we do during our virtual PE lessons, the student is able to either take a photo and put it up in the site, or they can just look for images and put in, and also add text and information depending on what they want to share with their classmates. So this way, it enhances collaboration in the class. And as we are saying, we are using this as a tool to enhance learning, and so we are not keen on what we are really putting up. For example, there's a student who have been able to put up a video here, and if we click it, we are able to watch it, and you can see that the child have learned some things during their PE lessons. There are quite a number of pages that we have created, but because of time, I'll just share these few, just to show the teachers out there that it is possible for you to use Google Sites, enhance collaboration during your lessons. With that, I would wish to just thank you and wish that we continue trying to utilize the tools that are available from Google so that we can make our virtual classes more interactive and more engaging. Back to you, Kay.
All right. Thanks very much, Charles. What we've seen is we've seen different examples of Google Sites for e-portfolio and for different things that you could use them for in a school, even for projects as well. So again, you can see how easy it is for you to develop Google Sites. So our next presenter is Jasmine, and she's going to show us a few more examples of Google Sites. Jasmine, over to you.
Hi, everyone. So thank you so much for having me, Cloud Edu, and I'm so excited to be talking about how we use Google Sites at Prudent Preparatory School. So I'm going to be a bit sneaky today. I've got two examples of how we use Sites. The first one being using Sites as an e-learning hub, and then the second one is using Sites for our internal school website. So to begin, when we're presenting our content to our students, both online or offline, or even with our blended learning, we find that Sites has become quite a powerful tool for learning in the classroom, actually. So the first thing I'm going to cover is why we use Sites, and that's going to be a quick discussion on Sites versus classroom. And then the second one will be using Sites for learning units, and that's embedding our EdTech tools in Sites and linking Sites with Google Classroom. So to begin, I know that during lockdown, Classroom became the go-to for online learning for many schools around the world. But essentially, Classroom is a document management system. So it's able to tell us how many students have handed in their work, we're able to give them work and get it back from them. But unfortunately, it's not very visually appealing and it's difficult to link with EdTech tools. So for instance, here, I've got something done with book widgets, but you can see that it's really quite bleh and not very exciting. And it does rely a lot on written instructions. So for instance, please watch the video, go through the notes, do the book widget, upload a 30-second video. With sites, however, we could use it as an integrated e-learning platform with all of your subjects being represented on one site and each of these being a link to a different subject. It is very visual, I think you'll agree, compared to Classroom, and it allows me to embed EdTech tools with a more intuitive workflow that I'm going to demonstrate. This is an example of our grade 5 unit on Earth and Space. When I talk about visual and an easier workflow, you can see that at the top of the site, we've got the tabs that our boys would need, which is the home page, the lessons per week, and the number of the lessons. So if they have 2 science lessons, we can have it as week 2, lesson 1, week 2, lesson 2. But this is our mission control page, which is our landing page, I suppose, for every week. Each week you have instructions, maybe something a little bit interesting, and then links to those various pages. I can tell them that they've got to make sure that they've done a previous activity, and if they're not done, they should go back and do it. So it's a wonderful place for me to communicate with my students. So I want to show you then how we use sites for our learning units. And this is the very exciting part for me because it's where I talk about embedding the various EdTech tools that we use. So here are the tools that I love using. I like book widgets, Edpuzzle, Padlet, Book Creator, Flipgrid, Kahoot, and then of course the G Suite apps over here. What's fantastic is I don't need my students to install a whole bunch of apps because all of this will work off their Chrome browser. I'm going to demo what this looks like. Sorry, back to my Earth and Space website. I've got Edpuzzle. For those of you that don't know, Edpuzzle is an interactive video. Oh, sorry, it makes your videos interactive, and I can embed questions in the video, allowing my students to be more engaged in their learning. I've got an ebook made with Book Creator that allows me to use the accessibility functions of Book Creator, like Read to Me and dyslexic font. It also just adds a layer of interest to the website. Book Widgets is fantastic for creating things like crossword puzzles, match the card, and again, it is something you can do within the website. You click on something and it gives you a clue. So students are able to fill it in on the website directly without having to go anywhere else, which is fantastic for my younger learners who don't really have the skills to navigate back and forth. We could even have augmented reality, Google Maps, and Flipgrid embedded in the site. So now I'm just going to do a very quick demo on how we use embedding in sites. Most of these tools here, in fact, all of them give you a link or embed code to use in your website. So for these examples, I'm going to show you how to embed using links. I'm going to show you how to do a fake embed when embed doesn't work by linking a picture. And I'll show you how to embed using an embed code. So for instance, now Book Creator gives you a link that looks like that. Book Widgets has a link that looks like that, I suppose. Your Kahoot link, I'm sure, is familiar to many of you. You click on copy URL to get the link. And then Edpuzzle gives you 2 options. It's embed a public link as a URL or an embed code. So now I'm just going to, just do a quick demonstration on how these things work. Just to make it a little bit easier and for the purposes of the site demo, sorry, I've got the links copied already. And I've got a demonstration page. Just a nice hint, if you don't want a page to be viewable to your students, click on your ice cream and just go to hide from navigation. So to embed, it's really, really easy. Double click in the white space, go to the yellow embed icon. Oopsie, sorry, wrong link. I'm going to copy the book creator link and paste. This is going to give me two options. I can either do a dynamically updating site page or a link with a static description from the site. I love the dynamic updating site pages, so those are the ones that I use. The same thing with book widgets. It's also going to ask me for dynamic or static. And that's going to embed my crossword puzzle. Now Kahoot is a little bit different because when I try and embed the link, it's going to give me an error. Can't embed due to site permissions. So to get around this, it's a little bit of a trick. Double click and insert an image. Now I'm just going to search Google Images and search Kahoot. Choose any of these. And then I've got a little link button over there. I click on the link and paste. Now I've got my picture linked to the website that I want. The alternative way of doing this is go to insert a button, call that Kahoot, and add the link this way. This is going to come in handy a little bit later when I show you how to link assignments. Because I've got a bit of time, and for my more advanced audience members, I'm going to show you very quickly how to use the embed. So it's a double click again, copy the text, go to embed, and instead of URL, I go embed code and paste that in. I'll do a very quick preview to show you what that looks like now. Here's my ebook from Book Creator. Here's the book widget crossword puzzle. My Kahoot is a link that will open in another site. And my Edpuzzle interactive video is at the bottom. So going back to the presentation, I just want to talk very quickly about why I use sites with Classroom. I find that in using sites and Classroom, I'm getting the best of both worlds. So I'm able to use the document management features of Classroom with the interactivity and the visual, just how use the visual aspect of sites. One of my colleagues from Cloud Edu, Lisa, was amazing, taught me that if you make a website or you create material with a site and you don't use a topic, it goes right to the top of Classroom, so your students are able to access it quite easily. And then you can link the assignments in your website with the Google Classroom assignments. I'm going to show you very quickly. Here I've got buttons for the different assignments. When I click on the one, it takes my students directly to the assignment that they need to submit. To get that link, you click on your ice cream and go to copy link. So there you have it, all my tools and tricks for using sites as an e-learning hub. I'm going to very quickly show you how we use sites for our internal school website. We use sites extensively, and we used it extensively during lockdown for communication with parents, whether it was newsletters, assemblies, any other important communication changes in our school days. We use it for our marketing and social media. We have email links for important to contact people. And we embed our collaborative documents that our teachers work on, like our schedules, timetables, cycle test information, and so on. Our music department also uses sites for students to book and view their appointments using Google Calendar. So let's have a look. This is our internal website. So it's for our parents at our school. You'll see there that we've got our message from a headmaster, button links to important pages. And here we've got our newsletter made by MailChimp, which our marketing or head of marketing absolutely loves. We've got our link to our official school website, our Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, and then mail-to links for our admin and IT support, which are quite handy as well. In our notices page, we have our online chapels in assembly, all made in YouTube. And now, because with COVID, things change so rapidly, we like to use embedded sheets. So this is a Google Sheet that is embedded, and we're able to change it as often as we need to. And as you can see, it is updated every 5 minutes. I've also got a newsletter here, the most recent newsletter, so our parents can view the information as soon as we push it out. Our cycle test tab gives you an example of how we collaborate, how the teachers collaborate on a document, and that goes into our website. Again, this is by Google Sheets. And the teachers all have access to these documents in the Google Drive. And when their cycle tests come up, they just add the information to the relevant tabs, and our students are able to flip through them and see what they need to study for their cycle tests. For our class pages, this is just my last example of embedding. We've got our class pages with our wonderful teachers and our beautiful boys, messages from teachers. We have our weekly timetable, also done in Sheets. And our clever teachers are able to link to the topic in Google Classroom. And they also create their meeting links for those live lessons, which makes it easier for our students. It's a one-stop place for them to navigate everything that they need to in classroom. Our work for the week schedule tells our boys what they've got to do for every day. It has a little tick box. And to make it easier, another feature that I love from Google is the ability to download this information as a PDF. So our boys are able to download it, print it, and stick it on a fridge, which is very helpful. Our class landing pages also have our music timetable, but our music department is very exciting. They've got their own music section on our website. The music section is wonderful because our boys see their their music timetables, and they're able to make online bookings with their teachers. Over here, you'll see our piano teachers' available slots. Our boys are able to click there and make an appointment only if they're at the school, because it's limited to people in our domain. And they can also see where their lessons are. That, I think, has been absolutely amazing for our music department, that likes to be as flexible as they can. So there you have it, everything that we use sites for, and I hope that you've learned something. I hope you're able to take something away from that. Thank you so much for having me. Back to you, Kay.
Thanks very, very much, Jasmine. That was really exciting to see all these things that you guys use Google Sites for in your school. Just to repeat what you've just shown us, you've used sites instead of classroom. Obviously, that's very, very good for nursery school and primary school kids who might find Google Classroom a bit too complex for them. So that's a very good example of how sites could be used to share materials with students. Also, you showed us how you could even link different apps onto Google Sites, so that rather than having to install them onto the kids' Chromebooks. So that is really very, very good. And then the last thing, of course, you showed us was your internal school website, which contained lots of information, even for parents as well. I mean, that is really very exciting, and I think I've picked up quite a few things from this session. So thanks very much, Jasmine. Now we're on to Q&A, and I'm going to hand over to Lisa, who's now going to take us through the Q&A questions. Lisa, over to you.
Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see you. We have a few questions today, not many. I'm going to pitch the first question. Anyone's welcome to answer, but I think, Yasmin, because you had the internal school site, perhaps you can take this one. the first question is, how can the site be accessible to those outside your school domain? In other words, like parents or the community, and can it be used as a commercial site? So rather than having a school website, so can you use it to replace your paid school website? And then the second part of that question is, can you incorporate advertisements in the site as well?
Oh, shoot, those are a lot of questions, Lisa. So regarding the sites, what's fantastic is that with the different sharing permissions, and I know Joseph touched on this earlier, when you're publishing your site, we could make it available to certain people that only have the link, and we can make it available to people within our domain. So we do that for our learning units, and we can also make it available to the public at large. So that's one of the features. Also, so that's what we use. For our external site for our parents, we make it available to the public, but Google also gives us an extra feature where it says don't show it in a search browser, so it still keeps it a little bit private. You can't search for the site, you can only find it if you have the link. And our parents don't need to log in, so I think it just makes it easier for them. Regarding the advertising on the site, I have no idea, but we could use it as an external site as well. I'm sure you could, as a commercial site.
Cool, thanks, Yasmin. If there's anyone else who'd like to add something about, can you incorporate it as an advertisement or replace your paid school site? Anything, Charles, from your side? Have you seen this in your communities?
Thank you very much, Lisa. As long as the site can be shared, advertisement would happen because if there is traffic to their site, then anyone who would want to share content to encourage the public to check on is able to create. Yeah, so it's something that somebody might want to try. Or you create a website, but then you have to really first get traffic, because one of the ways that you will be able to have people joining the site is by sharing the link and keeping on posting it on other social networks so that you can attract more people to the site.
That makes sense. Thank you, Charles. That's very useful. Our next question is from Paul in Nigeria. So I'm going to ask Joseph to answer this one. His first question is, where can one find opportunity to practice all these skills? And then he also asks, what are the requirements to be hired in a school that uses these channels?
Okay, thank you very much, Lisa. Practicing these skills, I think you can do that from the organization you worked with. It could be a school or any other organization. As long as they are on the Google platform, you can practice all of these skills. Or you can decide to use your personal Google account to start practicing some of these skills until you get hired to work in an organization or a school that use Google platform, so you can practice all these things at the higher level. Then some of the opportunities you have, actually there are schools online advertising to hire educators who have Google skills, especially Google level 1 and level 2. So if you know how to use these skills and you have been able to write the Google certification exams and pass, I think you are a good to go person and you can be hired by any school who is on the Google platform.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Joseph. And just to add to what Joseph is saying, later in the series, we will be looking at how you can be certified as a Google level 1 or level 2 educator. And there are various teacher resources on those platforms as well for you to have a look at. So I'll pop a link to that in the YouTube chat in a few minutes. So you can have a look at those at the Teacher Training Center as well. And I think that is our questions for today. So thank you very much, Kay. I'm going to hand back over to you.
Thanks very much, Lisa. And thanks everyone for listening today. So that will be the end of our webinar today. And please watch out. We're going to be back again next week, Wednesday, same time. And thanks very much for being part of the webinar today. Bye-bye.